Today I'm going to print my version of a full-face Deathstroke mask using the Lulzbot 3D printer.
And there you have it. So we have just gone through with about 150 grit, 220 grit, and 320 grit just to try and get as much of these lines of the print layers off as possible. And it's looking pretty good. I mean, a lot of it's been hidden. It's looking really smooth, and I think we're about to do our first layer of base paint. So we now have our mask back from putting a few layers of filler primer on top. Now that is honestly what I recommend straight off of the 3D print. Maybe sand back with a 150 and then just hit it with a couple coats of filler primer. Automotive filler primer is the best, fills in all the gaps, and you can come back with a wet sand and smooth it all out. And that's what we're about to do. We're going to do a few sanding processes here, and hopefully we're going to end up with a bigger mask that looks a little bit like this. Maybe a little bit different. Depends where our artistic creation takes us. So to start off with, I'm going to grab some 150 grit sandpaper, soak it, and then get to work. So I've just set up our helmet here, our mask, put it on some wooden blocks so I can get underneath and around. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on a black base coat. So I'm going to do a multi-layered print, do a black base coat, then do a red top coat, and hopefully sand back through and get some weathering marks, just to make the mask as cool as possible. Make sure that your spray can is well shaken up, and then hold it about 6 to 8 inches away. Give it a quick dusting, maybe do it a couple of times, 2 to 3 times. So you get a nice thick layer. Don't do one big thick coat because that never really turns out that well. And then you should be good to go.
So there you have it. There is our Deathstroke mask completely finished. Now this process took, with the 3D print included, probably about a week. The 3D print was about 36 hours, maybe a little bit less than that. I did, like I said, thick walls, made it high detail so I didn't have to do a lot of sanding. And then the painting was a pretty long finishing process as well. So lots of filler primer, lots of sanding back, lots of attempts to try and get this to look smooth, even though we ended up with a nice scaly texture finish on top too. Now I do realize that this is a red finish for our Deathstroke mask instead of the traditional orange. I like red. Please don't hit me. This is my interpretation of the mask. But if you have any questions about 3D printing, this technique or any of the other techniques that we show in our videos, please don't hesitate to reach out on Facebook, Twitter or Instagram. And if you like this video, please hit that like and subscribe. Thank you very much. I still ended with the thank you very much.